mining and metals in 2025.
Yeah.
We're going to deep dive into what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Especially for, the folks actually making it happen out there.
Right.
Running the operations, managing those supply
Yeah.
chains, the engineers designing the future. Like,
Yeah.
if that's you,
Absolutely.
this deep dive is for you.
Buckle up. Right. Because things are moving fast.
Things are moving fast.
Yeah.
And the landscape is changing.
Yeah. It's pretty remarkable how much buzz there is around metals these days.
Yeah.
And it's not just hype either.
Right.
I mean, the demand we're seeing for base metals,
Yeah.
your copper, your nickel, your cobalt, it's through the roof.
It's like everyone suddenly woke up and was like, wait a minute.
Right.
We need this stuff.
We need this stuff.
If we're actually going to build a cleaner future,
Yeah.
Electric vehicles, renewable energy.
All that good stuff.
Yeah,
That all depends on these materials.
It all comes back to these core materials.
Yeah, and the International Energy Agency.
Okay.
The IEA, they're predicting that demand for battery metals alone could very soon outpace supply by pretty significant margin.
So that's both an opportunity and like a
huge opportunity.
Potential, like, oh no, are we going to be able to keep up kind of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a huge opportunity for mining companies, but it's also a potential headache if you're not prepared to scale up.
Yeah. So how do we bridge that gap?
Well,
I mean, technology has got to play a massive role here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about incremental improvements. Mine is about to undergo a radical transformation.
Paint me a picture.
Yeah.
What does this future mine look like?
All right, so picture this.
Okay.
Autonomous trucks hauling ore 24/7.
Okay.
Smart drills optimizing extraction in real time. And conveyor belts practically running themselves.
It's like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But like, what's the real impact of all this automation?
Well, for one thing, it's a game changer when it comes to efficiency and cost reduction.
Okay.
I think about it, fewer people in potentially hazardous situations. So that's a big plus for safety.
Yeah.
And then just smoother operations overall, which ultimately means a healthier bottom line.
Right. Because downtime in mining can be incredibly costly.
Huge.
So anything that can prevent those issues before they even arise is huge.
It's huge.
But we're talking beyond self-driving trucks, right?
Yeah.
What about AI and robotics taking on even bigger roles?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking AI systems sorting materials with laser precision.
Okay.
Robots predicting equipment failures before they even happen.
Wow.
It's incredible.
So it's not just automating what we already do. It's like doing things we couldn't even imagine before.
Absolutely.
But I'm curious, with all this talk about robots and automation, what does this mean for the human workforce?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's less about replacing jobs and more about augmenting human capabilities.
Yes.
These technologies can free up skilled workers to focus on more strategic tasks.
Right.
Problem solving, overseeing these complex systems.
So it's like working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay.
Working smarter, not harder.
But we can't talk about the future of mining without addressing the elephant in the room.
Right.
Sustainability.
Yeah.
The pressure is on for companies.
Absolutely.
To reduce their environmental impact.
For sure.
And it's not just about ticking boxes for regulations anymore.
No, it's consumer expectations, investor priorities.
It's the future of the planet.
Exactly. And I think the industry is starting to realize that sustainability isn't just a cost, it's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So where do we start? What are some tangible ways to make mining more sustainable?
Well, refining and processing are typically the biggest carbon culprits.
Okay.
So electrifying machinery, powering operations with renewables like solar and wind.
Okay.
That's a big step in the right direction.
Makes sense.
But there's another emerging solution that I think has huge potential.
Okay.
And that's metal recycling.
Right. The circular economy.
Exactly.
Like mining less by getting more out of the resources we already have.
Yeah, and especially for those critical metals driving the energy transition, recycling is going to be massive.
It's huge, yeah. And it makes sense environmentally.
Environmentally, economically.
It's a win-win.
It is.
But let's be honest, all of this, the demand the tech, the sustainability push.
It's a lot.
It can feel pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
Where do companies even begin to wrap their heads around it all?
Well, that's where EPCM comes in.
Okay.
We're not just offering individual solutions here.
Uh-huh.
We're providing a holistic,
okay,
integrated approach that addresses all of these challenges.
Okay, so bringing together like the engineering,
Exactly.
the automation, spare parts maintenance.
We're talking everything you need under one roof.
Okay, that makes sense in theory.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
Right.
Can you give me some specific examples of how EPCM is helping mining companies make these changes?
Absolutely. One of our key areas of focus is plant automation.
Okay.
We're using cutting-edge technology to streamline processes, reduce waste, and improve efficiency across the board.
And I've heard you guys are doing some really innovative work with tank house automation, too.
That's right. We're helping companies revolutionize the way they refine metals.
Yep.
These automated systems are safer, more precise, and more cost-effective than traditional methods.
And it's not just about implementing the new tech, right?
Right.
It's about having the expertise to maintain and support it.
Exactly. We're committed to providing high-quality spare parts, preventative maintenance, and expert support to ensure our clients get the most out of their investments.
So it's about giving mining companies the peace of mind to focus on what they do best.
Yeah.
Which is producing the metals that power our world.
Precisely, and doing it in a way that's both profitable and sustainable.
I love that. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
The exploding demand for metals, the tech revolution, sweeping the industry, the imperative for sustainability, and how EPCM is stepping up to help companies navigate these changes.
That's a lot.
But where do we go from here? What's the next step for our listeners?
I think the most important takeaway is that the future of mining is bright.
Yeah.
But it's going to require a proactive approach.
Companies can't just wait and see what happens. They need to start planning for the future now.
Exactly. And I think a big part of that is finding the right partner.
Yeah.
Someone who understands the challenges and opportunities and can help you develop a tailored strategy for success.
Like EPCM.
Someone like EPCM.
But before we dive deeper into how EPCM can help, let's take a quick look at some real-world examples of how these trends are already playing out in the industry.
Okay.
I think it'll help our listeners see how these seemingly futuristic concepts are becoming a reality.
Great idea. Let's explore some case studies and see how these innovations are already making a difference on the ground.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, so let's jump into some real-world examples.
Right.
I think one of the most compelling stories is unfolding in Australia.
Okay.
They've got these massive remote mining operations.
Yeah.
And they've been early adopters of autonomous haulage systems.
Oh, yeah. I've seen footage of those giant self-driving trucks rumbling through the outback.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
What's the real impact been like, though?
The results have been impressive.
Okay.
They're seeing significant improvements in productivity, reduced operating costs, and perhaps most importantly, a major boost to safety.
Okay.
Fewer accidents, fewer injuries. It's a win-win all around.
That makes a lot of sense, especially in those remote, harsh environments.
Right.
But it's not just about hauling ore, right?
Wow.
What about other areas of the mining process?
Absolutely. Another great example is in underground mining.
Okay.
Companies are using smart drills equipped with sensors and AI to optimize drilling patterns and extraction techniques.
So it's like having a super intelligent drill operator who can analyze the rock formations in real time and adjust the drilling strategy on the fly.
That's exactly right. And that level of precision translates into higher ore recovery rates, less waste, and ultimately a more sustainable operation.
That's incredible. It really highlights how technology can be a powerful tool for both profitability and environmental responsibility.
For sure.
What about those digital twins we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Are those actually being used in real mines?
They absolutely are. One company I've been following is using a digital twin to simulate their entire copper processing plant.
Okay.
They're using it to analyze everything, from energy consumption to equipment performance to material flow.
So they basically created a virtual replica of their entire operation.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are they doing with all that data?
Well, they're using it to identify bottlenecks, optimize processes, and even predict potential problems before they occur.
Okay.
For example, they were able to identify a potential issue with the conveyor belt. That could have led to a costly shutdown.
Yeah.
But because they caught it early in the digital twin environment, they were able to fix it before it became a real problem.
Wow, that's sick. Huge advantage.
Huge.
It's like having a crystal ball.
Yeah.
That can foresee potential issues and help you avoid them.
Exactly.
But let's shift gears for a minute and talk about sustainability. I know a lot of companies are struggling to balance the growing demand for metals with the need to reduce their environmental impact.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
But I think it's also an opportunity.
Okay.
We're seeing some really innovative approaches to sustainable mining emerging. And one area that's particularly exciting is metal recycling.
I was just reading about a company that's developed a new process for recycling lithium-ion batteries.
Oh, wow.
From electric vehicles.
Yeah.
They're able to recover almost all of the critical metals, which can then be used to manufacture new batteries.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's not just about batteries.
Right.
Companies are finding ways to recycle everything from copper wire to aluminum cans to electronic waste.
It's huge.
It's a key part of creating a circular economy for metals.
And it just makes sense from both an environmental and economic perspective.
Absolutely.
It reduces the need to mine virgin materials,
Right.
which lowers carbon emissions, minimizes land disturbance.
Yeah.
Plus, it creates new jobs and strengthens local economies.
I completely agree. It's a win-win all around.
It really is.
And I think this is where a company like EPCM can really add value.
Right.
We have the expertise to help companies design and implement sustainable mining solutions that are tailored to their specific needs.
Okay, so let's talk more about how EPCM can help. We've touched on some of your services.
Right.
But let's break it down for our listeners.
Yeah.
If a mining company comes to you and says, hey, we want to be ready for 2025 and beyond.
Yeah.
What do you offer?
Well, first and foremost, we listen.
Okay.
We want to understand their unique challenges, their goals, and their vision for the future. Then we work with them to develop a customized solution that integrates the latest technology, best practices, and sustainability principles.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Absolutely. Not every mining operation is different.
Okay.
And we take pride in tailoring our solutions to meet those specific needs.
That's great. So let's say a company is interested in implementing automation.
Yeah.
What kind of services do you provide in that area?
We can help with everything from feasibility studies and system design to equipment selection, installation, and ongoing support.
Okay.
We have expertise in a wide range of automation technologies, including autonomous haulage systems, smart drills, robotic process automation, and more.
It sounds like you guys really cover all the bases.
We try.
But what about the human element?
Yeah.
How do you address the concerns about job displacement and the need to upskill the workforce?
That's a critical piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
We work closely with our clients to develop training programs and workforce development strategies that ensure their employees are equipped with the skills they need to thrive in this new era of mining.
So it's not just about implementing technology.
Right.
It's about empowering people to use it effectively and safely.
Exactly. We believe that technology should complement and enhance human capabilities, not replace them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
From real-world examples of innovation to the specific services EPCM offers. But I want to bring it back to our listeners for a moment.
Okay.
What's the key takeaway here? What do mining professionals need to be thinking about as we head into 2025 and beyond? I think the biggest takeaway here is that the mining industry, it's at a crossroads.
Yeah.
The demand for metals is soaring. Technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace.
It is.
And the pressure for sustainability is mounting.
Absolutely. It's a time of immense change and opportunity.
Yeah, and the companies that thrive in this new era,
Right.
it's going to be the ones that embrace these changes,
Yeah.
adapt quickly,
Right.
and invest in the right technologies
For sure.
and the right partnerships.
Yeah. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Right.
It's about anticipating those challenges and seizing the opportunities.
And it's about finding partners like EPCM who can help navigate this complex landscape
Absolutely.
and achieve your goals.
Yeah. We're here to help companies make this transition as smooth and successful as possible. We want to empower them to not only survive, but to thrive in this exciting new era of mining.
Now, before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about a lot of technical stuff today.
Right.
Automation, digital twins, recycling. But at the end of the day, mining, it's about people.
It always has been and it always will be.
Yeah, and I think that's something we need to remember as we embrace all these new technologies.
Right.
It's not about replacing people, it's about empowering them.
I couldn't agree more. It's about creating a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable industry where everyone can benefit.
And that's a future worth striving for.
Absolutely.
So to all the mining professionals out there,
Yeah.
keep innovating, keep pushing the boundaries,
Right.
keep building a better future for all of us.
Yeah.
And if you need a partner to help you along the way,
Yeah.
reach out to EPCM.
We're here to help.
They're the experts, and they're ready to help.
Thanks for having me. It's been a great conversation.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of mining. We'll see you next time.